All right. Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton, you know how much I missed you, boy? Come here. Come here, Mr. Clinton. Come here, Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Mr. Clinton. Come here. We got a stream to do, boy. Mr. Clinton, where are you? Where are you, kitty? Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Where are you? Mr. Clinton, where'd you go? Here, little kitty, 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 kitty. Check it out, Mr. Clinton. Look at this. Hey, Mr. Clinton, come here. I got something to show you. Oh, I got something to show you. So you know how my landlord doesn't really seem interested in renegotiating our rent? Well, check this out. This is literally right around the corner. So we're 141 West 27th Street. This is 141 West 28th Street. It's the same size as my current store, and they're asking half the price of my current location. I know, Mr. Clinton. We're going to have fun. We're going to have this season 4 of Rossmann Realty, aren't we? Aren't we? We're going to have season 4 of Rossmann Realty. Yes. Yes, that's what we're going to do. We're going to have season 4. Are you excited, Mr. Clinton? Are you excited? Oh, I haven't gotten to pet you in a long time, have I, Mr. Clinton? You can totally drag a bike up the stairs. Bro, if I save $6,000 to $7,000 a month in rent, I could afford a parking spot. I could afford a parking spot for my bike and for me. But we'll see. I don't know. Before I can even think of moving out of state or anything, or find out where I want to go, who's coming, any of that stuff, I really have to fix the fact that I'm racking up debt each month that I stay in my current location, unless I spend $13,000 a month on the rent, because I think that's what it's up to now. It went up from 12.5 to 13K, and I don't think this place is worth 13K. So in the meantime, I would like to stop racking that crap up and walk my way over to the place that's literally right next door. Right next door. Right next door. 1 block away. Same address. Anyway, we'll see. It's an interesting world out there. It's an interesting world out there. I told you kut 2 years ago. Limfao. Huh. My question is, how did we let companies tell us that we can't repair and repair schematics copyrighted? I don't know. I think people just became consumerist. I think people like buying new stuff. I think people just like buying new shit. And this is kind of an excuse to be able to do what people want to do, which is buy new shit. But I also think it's just something that kind of went away in the culture. We have a culture that really fetishizes safety and security and safety and children not getting hurt and you're not allowed to touch this and don't touch this or you may get hurt, all that kind of shit. Like when I was a kid, I remember just being allowed to go outside on the block and we could just play all day and our parents didn't know where we were. They didn't know where we were riding our bikes. They had no idea what I was doing with my time, and my dad had no problem with any of this, nor did the parents of any of the other kids. This is something that just, and I think that kind of ties into repair a little bit. Let me just get a better zoom on here. There we go. I think that kind of applies here, because that kind of free play mentality, I think, ties a lot in to the idea of fixing stuff yourself. Whereas the idea of, oh no, only the manufacturer can do it. It's dangerous if anybody else works on your stuff. What if you cut yourself on the screen glass? What if the battery gets hot? Is one of those things that I think ties into the fetishization of safety and security that we have in modern culture. That's a guess. It really is a guess. If you're asking, how do we let this happen over a period of 30 to 40 years? That's the best thing I can figure out. I grew up, this was the 90s. This was the 90s, and like that kind of stuff now, I don't think that would ever happen because they'd be going, oh my God, what if there's a pedophile out there? You can't go outside. No, little Timmy. Here's a cell phone so that we can call you to figure out where you are constantly. Oh well, so it's no big deal, jokey pokey. It's fine. I remember slicing myself on PC cases in the early 2000s. Ouch. That sounds painful. Why is my timer on my air conditioner? Piece of shit. Get off it. My Wi-Fi radio stopped working because their whatever is old and kaput. Now the radio is a brick. Well, that sucks. 2013 MacBook with a dead battery. Can you guys fix that? I can, but you can also, honestly. It's not... You'll save money if you do it yourself. I hate doing that repair. It's highly annoying. That repair sucks. It's no fun. It's just... You have autopilot for your drive, Lewis. Yes, I do, but I tend to limit my usage of it because I don't trust any of that shit with my life. Can you fix an M1 MacBook Air? It depends what's wrong with it. I don't know. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. I identify as being fully vaccinated, and I also identify as living in New York, even though I'm in Venezuela. Well, that's strange. That's really strange. I don't know why I read that. Usually I try to filter out the weirder comments. Where is Oreo? Probably hiding somewhere. Mr. Clinton! Mr. Clinton! There's the man for you, Mr. Clinton. Come back. I love this channel. You're like Mr. Rogers. You know, I think Mr. Rogers was cursed slightly less than I did. Something tells me Mr. Rogers cursed less. I can't get comfortable. It's weird. I had everything in the perfect position before I left, and now I just can't figure out how to get comfortable again. It's like nothing is right. Nothing is in its right place, really. It's just, it's just weird. I don't like leaving and having a... Who would you recommend getting MacBooks to try to fix as a beginner? No idea, man, honestly. If I knew where to get MacBooks to fix, I'd be doing it, and I would be selling them in my store. The reason I don't is because finding machines that are not completely screwed is one of the hardest things to do in the world. I started on eBay, but you're going to be paying insane rates. You're not going to be getting easy fixes, that's for sure, because I wasn't even getting easy fixes back in 2008. How much do you normally charge for liquid damage if someone spills coffee on their MacBook? What's the worst damage you've ever seen? The worst damage I've ever seen was cat piss, in which case buy a new one. How much you charge to fix liquid damage is very... I know this is an asshole answer. It's like asking how much is it to fix... It's like asking... you know, how hard is it to fix cancer? Is it stage 1, 2, 3, 4? Is it like thyroid cancer? Is it brain cancer? Do you have a tumor in your brain that's cancerous that it's already metastasized to the rest of your body? Or do you have like a mild case of skin cancer or something? It's really difficult to answer that without seeing it because I don't know how far your water damage has metastasized, if it's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, or stage 4 liquid damage. Like, you really got to see it. On average, people spend $200 to $400 to get liquid damage fixed here, but yeah, the worst liquid damage I've seen by far is cat piss, and I usually don't like fixing that because if a cat is pissed on your device, it typically means that the cat hates you. That's its way of getting back at you because you beat it, or you yell at it, or you're mean to it, or you fuck with it. And if that's the case, if you abuse animals, I don't want to fucking do business with you. Do you ask your customers how'd you break your device? Yeah, but it doesn't matter because most of them say they never did anything to it. So it doesn't matter to me. Like 99% of the time they lie, so it's pointless. I'd rather just figure out what's wrong with it myself, and then I tell them what's wrong with it. They can choose to accept it or not accept it. If they do accept it, I can repair it. If they don't accept it, then I ask if they're willing to pay to actually get it done. I don't care if you accept why it's broken. Do you want to pay? And if it's no because I don't accept it, then the Apple store is 13 blocks away, man. It's a 13-block walk. I wish you the best of luck. Or Drive Savers. Try out Drive Savers. Misleading thumbnail. Incorrect. The title says that it's a clickbait thumbnail. So the thumbnail is on point with the title. I'm going to school for EET. Do you have any advice for someone seeking a career somewhere in electronics? I don't, because I found my career by accident. So I don't really know. When are you going to drop merchandise or Oreo bobblehead? I'm not good at merchandise. I'm not a creative type. I'm not a creative person. I don't know what would work and what wouldn't. I usually make memes when I get ripped off. So like when I got ripped off by Eugene, I turned him into a mug. When I got ripped off, like when one of the people from the co-op got mad at me and like bitched me out in front of my customers and my store and my employees in like this talking down to me manner, I decided, because I wasn't paying full rent in the middle of a fucking pandemic, I made a mug out of her because Dave Jones said you should make a mug out of it. And like when Dave Jones tells you to make a mug from EV Blog, you fucking make a mug. But I don't really manufacture merchandise. I typically make merchandise when something funny happens, or Pop the Glass, that one. So I bought batteries from Unit Pack Power because EM3EV didn't have what I wanted at the time. Unit Pack Power is a horrible fucking company. Never buy batteries from them. Like, I have a video on why you shouldn't there. They blamed my setup. My setup has been working with EM3EV batteries now for literally over a year. No fire. Nothing. I ride that shit every fucking day. I've rode that thing to Long Island, New Jersey, upstate New York. Fine. Unit Pack Power battery, fire after a week. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so, my neighbor was yelling, pop the glass, pop the glass, pop the glass. And it was the top voted comment in that video, about how to fix the door. So I made a shirt that said pop the glass. So it's like making merchandise is not my thing. What I do, it's the same thing with this channel. I don't manufacture content. I think if I did, I'd be a lot more successful. Like, that's what Linus does. And he's very successful. I don't mean this in a bad way. Because what Linus has done is he's created an empire that entertains people, that makes money, that he can then reinvest in cool shit like repairable laptops. Whereas I'm a bum who doesn't make good money, who, fucks his life away ranting in a chair next to a Christmas tree that he never put away. But I'm not good at manufacturing things because I'm not a creative person. It's just, I think that would be the yin and yang between, let's say, Linus's content and mine. Linus will find something, he creates something from scratch, it's funny, it's informative, it's entertaining, and I just go about my life and hit record in the camera, and whatever the fuck winds up being there shows up in the channel. So I'm not really good at merchandise. Merchandise isn't a thing for me. My DNA is still pure, no vaccine for me. That show demonstrates that you have no idea how these vaccines work, and you've probably been listening to a lot of crazy shit on the internet. But you keep doing you. How are you doing? Just want to say thank you for your work on Right to Repair. Thank you. I'm doing quite well. I'm actually feeling a little happy tonight. I'm feeling like I have a way out of my shitty situation. There's always a way out, but sometimes it can feel like you're stuck and you're cornered. And it doesn't matter how many times I've gotten my way out of a shit situation. It doesn't matter how many times I got my way out of a shit situation. Every time I get myself back into one, I always think this is it. This is the end. I'm screwed. I'm done. That's it for my business. That's it for my livelihood. That's it for my channel. That's it for my girlfriend, my relationship, my cat. I'm done. And it's exaggerated, and things never go as bad as I think. I got my laptop fixed at Rossmann store a few days ago. 24-hour turnaround, water damage, MacBook Logic board, amazing service. 24 hours? That doesn't sound right. I know how busy we've been the last 2 weeks. That sounds weird. I almost kind of want to recheck your ticket. If you could email me your ticket number, lewis@rossmanngroup.com, because that... Listen, I'm not saying... I'm happy that you got fast service, but I know how busy we've been since I've been gone, and I would like to see that. I'm very curious. Lewis@rossmanngroup.com. If you could politely email me your ticket number so I could check it and figure out how the fuck, with all the work we've had, you got 1 day turnaround on board repair. Where is Oreo? He's gone. I don't know where he is. He doesn't know how to jump. He can't jump. He's not capable of jumping, so he's not here. Is your mouse a relic? This is not a relic. This is a Logitech M570. It is a superior mouse because you don't have to do this like a schmuck. You keep it over here and you just go around. So you can have less desk space and still get everything done. I can have my motherboard in the... I don't have to do this shit where I'm doing this and my mouse is banging into my fucking motherboard, because when you had to start working on A1707 boards, these things are much larger than the old boards. In my old store, the space was small, so I was my mouse was hitting the side of the board. It's so embarrassing. Now I have a look at this. Trackball. Track point. I like being able to keep my hands mobile where they are. This is a good mouse. How dare you? How dare you? Just woke up from a dream when I fixed the laptop. Right to repair. Right to repair, baby. When you open the door, did you get the good old haven't been here in a minute stale smell? No, actually, because Erica tried 50,000 different litters, and she found one that works. One thing about Erica is that one thing I think we share in common is that we will bang our head against the wall for 5 years to try to solve a basic problem. Why is PM Sleep S4L missing? 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, 6 years to solve that problem. There are a lot of problems I just bang my head against the wall for years until I figure it out. And she's the same way. She gets stubborn with it. And yeah, we were gone for 2 weeks. There was no smell when we got in here. I'm dead serious. Like, nobody scooped. I mean, somebody should have scooped, admittedly, and that's something I need to address for the future. But she found a litter. She tried a lot of different litters. And you can check out her channel. Her channel is Cinevision. I will link it down below. Any of you want to spam her comment section, spam her feed of our live streams, spam her community page, I welcome it. I welcome you trolling my girlfriend, so by all means, go ahead and troll her. I have linked the channel in the chat. You can check it out. And where she discusses anything from kitty litter, urine, no-see-ums, oh, look, a squirrel, some random shit that she saw in a store. Erica loves spamming people's feeds. It's one of her favorite things to do. And one of the things that you could do is spam her back. Have you seen the Pinesil from Pine64? I just got mine. It's really nice open source, too. What is a Pinesil? I tried a Pine phone a year and a half ago, and that scared the piss out of me. What is this thing? This is a mini soldering iron. Do you take Hacko tips? Oh, do you take Hacko tips? Please tell me you take Hacko tips. I haven't tried this thing, but I got to add this thing to my list. I'm going to add this to my list because a lot of people have been asking me about this, and it looks really cool. It looks like a cooler version of the TS100. So 1 second. I'm just loading my thing. Pinesil, ask Paul to review. All right. Paul is very, very critical of almost everything. He's kind of like he's kind of like your cynical grandpa. He's like, damn it, why doesn't this work like I want it to? I want to see what he thinks of it. He's also really good at his job, better at it than I am. Thoughts on the 2015 MacBook Air? Is it worth keeping and reasonably fixable? Is it worth keeping? I mean, if you own something, it's always worth keeping. Like, really, if you own something, why would you throw it away unless you've run out of room for it or it doesn't work? The only two reasons to not own something anymore is you ran out of room for it, it doesn't work, and it's not worth fixing, or you're broke and you need to sell shit to pay your debt.
By the way, afterwards you can open this.
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I'm behind by 10 minutes on comments. How many glad to see iFixit showed the encrypted battery rumor to be false. Not that I'm getting an iPhone. Did you see that yet? I did. I'm happy. Because that means that we are not completely screwed. If they actually went ahead with that, with everything happening, that would have been really bad. Because that would have meant that that we're not even a tiny threat. Which would have sucked. Title is back in NYC at last. Oh. Why didn't it change it? I had that... oh, son of a bitch. Restream is not syncing my titles. God, mother. Why would a customer lie? If they were honest, wouldn't make it easier. No, it wouldn't. They're not lying to me. They're lying to themselves. So what they do is they say I never spilled anything on it to themselves. If they spilled something, it means they owe $1,200 to $1,500. And that's scary. So what they do is they lie to themselves prior to lying to me. And once they've lied to themselves and believe it's true, then they tell me the truth as they believe it once they've believed their own lie. And I did a video series on this a long time ago. If you check out my channel, there are 4 videos on this. I am going to link them all down below. They're very important, and they explain this entire process and how most people lie to themselves before they lie to you. So that's part 1. This is part 2. This is part 3. And this one here is part 4. So so people don't lie to you. They lie to themselves, and then they tell you the truth as they believe it in their brain to protect themselves and protect their wallet from the belief that they need to spend a lot of money. And that's 5 lines. I have no idea. I'm going to read that before it goes up the screen. In Australia, NYC, the government recently changed legislation to prevent apartment committees from outright banning pets. In the past, they said they would ban them without scrutiny. I'm trying to get a dog, and I'm getting pushback. Any advice or your opinion? I usually tell a place, what I do with this apartment is the lease said no pets. So what I did is I crossed it out. I initialed the cross out. I asked the landlord to initial it, and I said I have a 4-pound kitten, and her name is Blackberry. She keeps mice out of my home. And then he just went for it. So what I would do is when applying for the apartment, I would show up. I'd have your certified check for your first month, last month deposit, whatever the fuck they asked for. I would give them all the credit stuff and go, oh, by the way, I have a pet, so I'm just going to cross this part out of the lease. We cool? And see what happens. Because, listen, if I'm going to spend like $1,500 to $2,000 a month to live someplace, you're not fucking telling me that I don't get to have a cat. Suck my dick. Like, no, that's just not happening. You're not going to tell me I'm not going to have a cat in my own fucking home. At that point, you know, what do you know, you're dictating what I can and cannot do inside of my own house, and that should be discounted. That should be considerably discounted. I'm not doing it. Because at that point, they're already counting the money. They're already excited. They can put the ads down. You know, they can put the ad for the place down. They know that, you know, they're not gonna, at that point, they're not gonna bitch about the cat. Up front, they will. But if you go through all the stuff and then you're right at the end and about to sign, they'll just fucking deal with it. Like, and have a picture of the cat while you're there. Have a picture of the cat as well. It'll help you out. How'd the Framework laptop hold up for 2 weeks in the road? Dude, it's working amazing. I love that little thing. I missed the track point. I can't lie. I missed the track point. I like the track point. Collaboration with Joshua Fluke. Who is this? Who is Joshua Fluke? When people on LinkedIn... I feel my neighborhood strays. They just use me for food. I'm fine with it. Thank you, Raymond, for the $10. And yeah, most cats do just use people for food. Mine probably do too, but I convince myself that they love me. I don't know what the theme of this channel is, and I'm not quite sure where I would fit in here. Let's see. I'm not really a collaboration person. I don't get along with people. I get along terribly with people. I mean, the only reason that Linus ever saw my video is because I was screaming and raging in Asperger's fashion over reflowing of a GPU. And it was actually really bad PR for me, because what it did is it didn't send the message that I wanted to send, which is that repair shops that do this are scammers and need to stop because they fuck up our industry. It sent the message that I don't want people to fix things on their own, which was not what I wanted to send at all. But that entire thing happened because I'm bad at PR, I'm bad at getting messages across, and I'm bad at communicating to other people. So even the collaborations I have because I'm bad at collaborating with people, not because I'm good at it. I'm going to move to New York City at 26. I hope things turn out. Oh, best of luck. How often does Lewis stream? When he feels like it. Lewis going to fire the guy who gave you favoritism. What? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What the... Trackballs are cancer. Okay, you're getting timed out. Listen, we don't ban... We believe in free speech, but to a point here. Free speech does not mean you get to say fire in a crowded theater, and it does not mean you get to insult trackballs in my chat. You're timed out. 14 cities grew by 100K over the past decade. OkCupid was one. What? OKC was... Oh, OkCupid is a city? Okay, I just learned something. OkCupid grew. Let's see. Is that Blackberry meowing? Nah, she barely meows. Apple can't make an ergonomic pointing device to save their lives. I really, 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 really enjoy the track points, and I really, really miss it. I hope Framework rips it off and puts it in their computers. I would pay extra for a track point. I didn't pay for the laptop. I would give them $1,000 just to put a track point on my existing laptop. I shit you not. I miss that thing so fucking much. Duty is so behind. Ahaha. Yes. There's one of me. And there's how many of you? How many of you? Probably more than one, that's for sure. That's pathological lying to save money. They know it's a lie. They're the people who complain for free food at restaurants too. But they're lying to themselves, not just to you. Everybody does it to some extent. Do you listen to music when you ride? Yes. Do you have a Spotify playlist? I don't use Spotify. I don't like streaming. I like owning. I like having my music on my drive. Would you ever consider running for public office after hitting your goalpost right to repair in your repair business? Hell no! No! No, no, no. The way you win election is by telling people what they want to hear and by reinforcing people's narratives back to them. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I have no interest in doing that. And that gets me into deep shit with lots of people. Like in my comment section, I'll see people say, "You better not come to my state, you New York City liberal." And then I read Sam Cedar's comment section and they're talking about like how I'm an alt-right Nazi. Like I don't give people I don't feed people their narrative back to them in a clean fashion. I'll say something that makes people think I'm on their team, and then I'll say something else that completely destroys the idea that I was on their team, and then they get mad at me. No. Hell no. The last thing I'm ever doing is running for public office. Fuck that. No amount of money in the world would make that worth it. I would not tell people what they want to hear. I would tell them what they need to do. And I would probably get set on fire for it. Nope. Not doing that. Fuck that. Never. Literally never. Never. If I ever run for public office, it'll mean I've sold out. And like, bookmark this live stream so that you could play it on the news when I actually do run for public office someday. If I run for public office, it'll most likely be because I found a way to make a fuck ton of money doing it, or because I'm getting blackmailed into it, and I can't tell you why I've been blackmailed into it because I get in deep shit or trouble for it. But no public office. Screw that. Never. And running for public office means having to pander to groups of people and tell them what they want to hear and make them feel good about themselves in order to win. And I don't want to do that. Fuck that. No. Do you still e-bile to the store? No, I don't throw up. I stopped throwing up and I stopped drinking several years ago. I feel no e-bile for me. No e-bile. No electric bile. No normal bile. Did you post naked cat picture online? Never. You collaborate with Jess and that worked out. That's not collaborating though. That's like I'm friends with her. She's a board member. I used to teach with her. She's a board member of my nonprofit, and I just so happen to put a camera on when I'm in the room with her. When I think collaboration, I think somebody comes to me and says, "We want to do a video with you. Come up with an idea as to why we should do a video." And I delete all those emails because I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't want to come up with an idea. I don't want to have to manufacture content. I just like, one of my favorite videos I did with Jessa was reading her mail while we were both drunk. That wasn't manufactured. She actually has a mailbag. We were both drunk. We turned the camera. Oh, it was kind of funny. I thought that was a funny video. But like, it wasn't really manufactured content. It was it was the reality of us doing business together. I taught with Jessa for a short period of time before we both drove each other nuts, and that was that. When filming in New York City, have you ever been stalked by a bunch of uniform that seems to glow in the dark? No, that seems weird. Which do you like more, Framework or ThinkPad? That's not a fair question because my ThinkPad is from 2017. My ThinkPad weighs way more than my Framework, and my ThinkPad is less powerful than my Framework by about 10%. But that's because my ThinkPad is 4.5 years old. So it's not really a fair thing to compare to. I much prefer the track point on my ThinkPad. I much prefer the 4:3 aspect ratio on my Framework. I prefer the quality of the LCD on the Framework because ThinkPads always come with the shittiest LCD that Lenovo can get. Like, Lenovo sorts by lowest price when putting LCDs into their laptops. I don't know why they fucking do that on workstations, but they do, and it sucks. When you put a ThinkPad P-Series using the cheapest LCD in the line next to a MacBook that costs $500 less, the MacBook screen shits on the ThinkPad screen. So it's so hard. Not even resolution, just color, black levels, everything. It shits on it so hard. I prefer the Framework because it's lighter, it's more powerful, and I like the 3:2 aspect ratio. But again, that's not fair because the Framework is 4.5 years newer. So I mean, it should be lighter and more powerful. What would be fair would be to compare the Framework to a modern ThinkPad that I just bought right now. But I don't want to do that because it required buying a ThinkPad, and I owe my current landlord $83,000. How are you? I'm good. Wouldn't Framework just need to release a new keyboard cover? That's hard, though. So that's work. They'd also have to figure out how to get a track point in there, figure out how to do it without getting sued. Because Dell and HP have one, but it's that thing where, like, we're so big that if Lenovo sues us, we can countersue them for something else, and we're not going to spend, 10 years in court because we both have billions of dollars. Framework doesn't have that. Framework, it gets sued into the ground fairly easily, I imagine. So I can understand why they don't want to even potentially infringe on someone else's ideas. Lewis campaign slogan: I don't tell people what they need to hear, I tell them what they need to do. Not even tell them what they need to do. I don't think I tell people what they need to do. It's just like I don't fit into any one particular mold well enough to be able to be a politician. Like, for instance, just take vaccines, for instance, right? Like, I am against mandates. because I don't like the concept of mandates for what you put in your body. I don't like the idea of mandating small businesses have to check whether or not you're vaccinated to walk into a business. I think it's going to cause messes and clusterfucks. So that pisses off a lot of pro-vaccine people. It really does. Like, are you anti-vax? Why are you anti-mandate? Why are you anti-mandate? Anti-mandate is because I'm actually pro-vaccine. I want to see people get vaccinated, and I know that that's just going to harden people in their initial stance. But then anti-vaccine people also get pissed off when I say, I got it. I think it makes sense for other people to get it. I think the fact that it reduces hospitalization by a great amount is a good thing, and I think this whole idea that it modifies your DNA is complete bullshit that people came up with that have no idea how this shit works to begin with. So like, I don't say things that you can just package easily and say, this is a left-wing position, this is a right-wing position. I don't say things that will easily satisfy particular groups of people. I don't say things that are going to be correct for a voter in New York City, and I don't say the things that are going to get me elected in Jacksonville, Florida, or Knoxville, Tennessee. So like, running for public office is ridiculous. I would have a team of people around me at all times, running after me to tell me, hey, don't say this, hey, say that, hey, don't say this, hey, say that. Because you have to pander to all the groups of people properly in order to get enough people to want to vote for you, and I'm not doing that. I would vote for Louis Rossmann. And that's the other thing. Everybody would spell my name wrong, and then some random guy named Louis Rossmann would get elected instead of Louis Rossmann. Who's my Clinton? Who's my Clinton? You're my boy. You're my boy. You're my boy. Come here, Mr. Clinton. You want to run for public office, Mr. Clinton? Come here. Mr. Clinton? I know I haven't seen you in so long, Mr. Clinton. It's been 2 whole weeks. I missed you so much. Is there a point of right to repair you think things are good enough and you move on to something else? Yes. Yeah, 100%. I have another project I want to take care of, but I've told myself I need to do my right to repair first before I actually go for that goal. And there's only one person on planet Earth who knows what that goal is, and he lives in Lumberton, North Carolina, and he's sworn to secrecy. He's probably watching this video right now. Stop fucking with the mic, Mr. Clinton. Come here. Come here. Come here. Mr. Clinton, stop fucking with the mic, Mr. Clinton. Clinton, anything but the microphone. Clinton, stop fucking with the mic, Mr. Clinton. Come here. I gotta scroll. Come here. I use Windows, Whitaker. I used to use Linux for 13 years, and then I stopped. Would you rather have a 17-inch framework with a trackball or 13-inch without? I reject the premise that I have to have these choices. I don't want a trackball on a laptop. I want a track point. And you can put a track point on any size laptop. Would you ever do Tesla repair? Tesla repair would be a great niche for you. I don't know much about automobiles. I'm not a good mechanic, man. Like, I know my limits. I know what I'm good at. I know what I'm not good at. I don't think I'd be a good mechanic. Beautiful humans, please prepare yourselves. In a few short months, the world will look very different. Buy food, silver, gold, guns, ammo, fuel, fix your vehicles, and a house. This is Raymond Chamis for $20. Thank you for the $20. I think that people should be prepared at all times. But the idea that the world... But if you live... What I found is... Living like the world is ending for long periods of time is not an optimal way to live, in my opinion. Mr. Clinton has entered the chat. Get those views up. Thank you very much to Miss Nicole Valerie down in South Florida. Thank you very much. And Mr. Clinton, come back. Come back, Clinton. What are you doing going over there? Clinton, I need you back. Clinton. There we go. Ratings. Ratings, boy. Come here. Sit down, boy. Clinton? I don't watch that often, but I think the whole thing you've wanted was to get out of New York City. New York. I kind of do. At the same time... fuck. My iPhone 6S blocked out just shows the Apple support website. How do I reactivate it? My 6S black... What do you mean by blacked out? It just shows... Well, it can't be blacked out if it shows Apple support website. Also, how do you... I don't know if it's unactivated or not. I feel really bad because you spend $5, and thank you for the $5, but there's like a million things I need to know. I need to know how many amps it uses when plugged into a USB amp meter. I need to know what the history is. Was there liquid damage? Was there a drop? Did you change the screen? Did somebody fuck with the connector? Did something get ripped off the board? Did you do an update? Right? Did you do an update right before the storage was all filled up? Like that's a troubleshooting process, and I don't know how to do that in the middle of a live stream with a bunch of people asking questions. I'd watch iPad Rehab's videos. She may have an answer for you. But yeah, I really need history. I can't give you a good answer. That's too complex. That's like PM sleep at S4L is missing. What do I do? Need way more information. Moving away from New York would mean I have to start up a shop somewhere else. And then, son of a bitch. What are your thoughts on the new trackpad shortages? What's a trackpad? Is there a trackpad shortage? Eric, is there a trackpad shortage? Somebody said there's a trackpad shortage. Thank you for the $2, but I don't see any trackpad shortage. There's a track point shortage at Framework. Oh, I think she means toilet paper. Is there a toilet? What's anything? What are the things that TP could stand for?
Toilet paper.
I get trolled with acronyms so bad. I don't know why. I don't know why people go for toilet paper. I would go for soap or something. Like, why do people really wipe their ass with dry paper? Is that what people do?
Worst, you know what you guys could stock up on?
Worst comes to worst, I would just use my shower to clean my ass. But yeah, that's probably not the answer you wanted. The New York one, I'm probably not going to get to answer this because something is going to come up every 5 seconds. Moving, well, the first thing I need to do is lower my my liability. So right now my liability is about $13,000 to $13,500 a month, and there's a place available 1 block down that's about $6,000. So now moving to a new state, like figuring out what employees are coming and which are not, figuring out how much business is in the new state, setting up the shop in the new state, that's a pain in the ass. Walking down the street and cutting my liabilities by $6,000 to $7,000, that's something I could literally do tomorrow. Like, that's something I can do tomorrow to cut $7,000 off, and it's literally walking down the street. No downtime. No, I'm sorry, customers, for 3 weeks, Rossmann Group is not available. That's like walking down the street. So if I want the business to leave the city or the state, I have to find a place. I don't even know which part of the U.S. I want to be in at this point. I want to do a road trip. I want to go to some other parts of Nashville. I want to go some parts of I wanted to go to like Nashville, Tennessee, Franklin, Brentwood. I wanted to check out Knoxville and Chattanooga. I wanted to check out, Sioux Falls, Rapid City, South Dakota, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Jacksonville, Tampa, Florida. I wanted to go to a bunch of different areas, but that takes time. And then, like, after that, there's a lot of planning to move a business of this size. That's planning to move a business of this size to another state. Like, that's a year plan. That takes time. What I'd like to do is cut down my rent 50% by walking down the street right now, and that's something that that's something that makes sense to do. Who needs a stand-up desk when you have a couch? I agree. What's your take on the one charger type for all devices going on in the EU? You think it'll have some impact on right to repair? It has nothing to do with right to repair, and it shouldn't be linked with right to repair in any way, shape, or form. Right to repair and mandating that a manufacturer use a specific charge port in a device are two entirely different things, and I hope that they never get associated with one another. Not to attack a party, but I had the most frustrating convo on right to repair with Libertarian this week, according to Makami for supporting right to repair and its tyranny. Robust. Now to make all my super chat money back, says Sonny. No construction, Sonny! No renovating, no construction, nothing. I learned my lesson. I wanted to have a nice shop. I wanted to do my shop in a specific way. I got fucked over every single which way. Never doing that shit again. I don't care if the place I'm working out of looks disgusting. I don't give a fuck. I'm never doing that shit again until I'm a multimillionaire. Even then, I'm not doing it. It's a waste. Nobody gives a shit about any of that. How you like the 3:2 aspect ratio? I love it, and I never want to go back. Robust. Is it called troubleshooting because finding the problem is a crapshoot? Thank you for the $5, Mr. Bill de Blasio the Great, and maybe it's crapshoot. I don't think crap has anything to do with troubleshooting, unless you're working on a MacBook. According to me, I'm a commie for supporting right to repair and its tyranny. I've done a video on the non-aggression principle, libertarianism, and right to repair. It's about 26 minutes long. If you want to be an ideologue about it, I guess. But, like, what would a right to repair bill need to include? Everything that's in the current ones. I mean, the ones that are going around in Massachusetts, the one that was proposed in New York is not a bad bill, in my opinion. There are minor tweaks here and there that could be made. But we need to get to the point where the thing's at least getting voted on and, at the table at some point to get to the point where we're even discussing edits. Everything that's currently included. Access to schematics and diagrams, access to parts, companies not locking us out of crap. And one of the things that drives me nuts with libertarianism, how about this? They get more mad at right to repair than they get mad at the fact that the DMCA exists. I'm in New York City for a business trip right now. Will you be at your shop this weekend? Probably no. Probably no. I'll be honest with you. If I am, my employees will say that I'm not because they're trained to. Like, I feel like such an asshole saying that. You don't want to meet me. It's just it's going to be a really weird Asperger's itch, awkward ass experience. You don't want to meet me. Don't meet your heroes. Don't meet your friends. But usually if I'm at work, I'm doing something. I'm probably not going to be at the store this weekend. I'm going to be checking out a bunch of other places that I can go to in case the 99% chance that negotiations don't go well with my landlord, which I'm pretty sure they won't, happens that I'm able to go some yeah, I'm gonna be checking out a bunch of other places so that I can just like walk down the street and save 6 or 7K a month and not continue going further into debt. You should check out all those places in the winter, and I bet you'll pick Florida in a heartbeat. Honestly, I probably will. Like like my long-term plan includes leaving, but I do want to I do want to, in the meantime, spend a lot less money. And there's gonna be a good amount of business. Like if I could get son of a bitch. Come to New Zealand for a holiday, you deserve it. Am I even allowed in New Zealand? Like, are they allowing people into the country? Because I heard that they were, like, because of COVID, they were limiting people coming in and out. I'm curious. I've heard that New Zealand is the place that rich people want to move to in the case of a climate crisis so that they don't get, swept away like all the people in Florida supposedly will be. But, I'm very curious what it's like in New Zealand. What was I saying? Fuck, I forgot. Oh, the libertarian thing. I have a 26-minute video on libertarianism, the non-aggression principle, and right to repair. Take a look. And an ideological son of a whore, it's impossible to get a thought across. I have a mid-2011 iMac, 12 gig RAM, 500 gigabyte hard drive. I'm thinking of erasing hard drive and installing Windows on it. Should I? Thank you for the $7.99. That's something that you're going to have to decide if you want Windows on. I mean, if you want Windows, then install Windows. If you don't have a need for Windows, don't. Do you need to install and fuck with another operating system? I would only do that if you genuinely, absolutely need to. Like, I don't like the idea of installing new operating systems just to try different things that you already know how to do in your current one. I would only do that if it was absolutely necessary. I'm going to move on from the libertarian one because God does not want me to answer that question. He's made that very clear with the pace. Mr. Lewis, you and Erica go see Butterfly 4 when it comes to theaters. What's Butterfly 4? I have no idea what that is, and thank you for the $5. What's Butterfly 4, Erica? You have 5 seconds to give an answer before the next thing comes up on the screen. Yes. 5, 4, 3, okay. Yeah, neither of us know what that is. I'm truly sorry. In an ideologically perfect world, asking a company to do something using the force of government wouldn't work. But we don't live in that world. We live in a world where Apple will ask me to take videos off of my YouTube channel and then cite the DMCA as a reason that they should be allowed to do it. So I can't do that. I'm not going to disarm myself and then just give that gun over to the company that's then going to point it at my head. It just doesn't make sense for me to do in the world in a practical, pragmatic way. I used to consider myself libertarian until I realized the platform was really just less taxes, no word in actual rights or reducing permitting. Is it? I mean, listen to Larry Sharp's stuff. I mean, there's a lot about it. There's a lot on it that's about actual rights and reducing permitting. I mean, Larry Sharp wanted to slash a lot of stuff when it came to licensing in a way that would actually really help people.
Robust.
All right. What are your deadlift, squat, and bench one rep maxes currently and all time? What lifting program are you running? I can't answer a lifting program because that'll take a really long time, and that sound will show up with another question within 10 seconds. Deadlift is, thank you for the 666, by the way, nice evil number. My max deadlift, I can't tell you because my weight set is 300 pounds at the store. When I used to use the gym, I could max out, but now I only have 300 pounds available. So I've done 9 reps of deadlifts. I can't tell you one rep max because I need more weight. Squat, I think, was 325. Bench press was either 280 or 285. I think it was 280. I'm running my businesses over the year. I have found reducing overhead is often the lowest hanging fruit in business expense reduction. Yes, Raymond Shamas, thank you very much for the $10. And yeah, that's again, if there's the opportunity that I could walk my business literally 1 block down, and after doing that, I save $6,000 to $7,000, and I have a space that's pretty much in the same area. I don't have to lose employees and then retrain new ones. By the way, retraining a new employee can easily cost upwards of $40,000 to $80,000 in this business. I'm not kidding. Then yeah, I'm gonna look for that. That's the low-hanging fruit. Moving to another city or state is something that can wait. Rainbows, 48 million. Sorry. Rainbow's 48 million, Erica. Have you heard of this?
No.
I have not heard of that either. Will you guys go? I don't go to the movies, I'll be honest with you. I don't find movies interesting. I don't find, I don't... Yeah, I mean, I just don't find those things interesting. I don't find fiction very interesting. Except for 24. 24 and Heroes I enjoyed. I'm not anti-vax. I just think that the vaccine is overly politicized, and I'm waiting until Biden and Kamala are dead. Yeah, you're hoping that the president and vice president die, but they're politicizing it. Okay, tell me more. I just wanted to give you $5 because you make me happy. Thank you very much to Chris. Thank you. Bye-bye, Lunatic, Ruby Collins, GTFO. Next. Your thoughts on vaccination, for example. It's not just that you don't agree solely with left or right-wing positions, that you understand nuance and critical thinking, which a lot of people don't. I wouldn't give myself that much credit, man. Ever thought of moving to North Carolina? A city like Charlotte or Raleigh has a lot of universities and service to offer. To service and fairly affordable living. What I'd like to do is I'd like to take a real honest-to-God trip of the country where I spend several weeks at a time in different cities and really get to absorb what it's like there. What are the people like? What are the opportunities like? What are the, It really does require you live in an area for several months, I think, before you get the feel of it. And I want to be able to do that. In the meantime, I would like to stop bleeding money, which is why I'm looking into opportunities to walk down the street and save $6,000 or $7,000 in New York City. John 3:16, King James Version. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for the scripture for $9.99, but I'm not a priest, so I don't. Yeah, thank you, but I'm gonna screw that up if I read it. I'm up to 12:41, so I'm behind by 15 minutes. 15 minutes. Have you ever had a pet dog? When I was a kid, I did. I'm not a dog person, though. Money for Greenie's Fund. Frederick. Can you give a greenie, Erica? Somebody gave $5, and thank you for that, by the way. The kitty would like a greenie. Somebody has bought the kitty a greenie. Everything from 12:41 to 12:45 is off the screen because YouTube's chat system sucks. Sorry about that. I missed everything from 12:41 to 12:45. Bye-bye, asshole. Shitty comment. Next. What do we got?
Robust.
If the inability to replace iPhone 13 batteries is true, do you think it'll help right to repair arguments? It's not true, so I don't think so. A lie will never help. And my video, to be clear, was not asserting it was true. It was saying that someone was talking about this, and I would like someone to test it for me to tell me if it's true. And iFixit made it clear that it isn't. Thank you for the $5. Thank you, Spelling Nazi. Thank you, Jake G. Yes. Welcome back. I want my phone to break so I can come see you one day, but it always works. Don't wish that. Don't wish that. There was actually a woman that I dated in 2012 that was breaking her machines and her friends' machines so that she had an excuse to bring them to me. Man, that was weird. Dating her was weird. That's a long story. If you take a Macbook to Florida, you'll immediately void your warranty for liquid damage, humidity alone. Probably. Let's see. Gargle my balls. Bradford? Okay, what do we have next? Did you feel homesick for New York? Did you dread the return? Some things I missed, some things I didn't. I missed... Oh, what did I miss, honestly? I missed my cat. I didn't miss the traffic. I didn't miss the attitudes. I missed the feeling that things were going on. Like, throughout the time that I spent in a lot of the smaller areas that I went to, and a lot of the areas in New Hampshire, I felt like I was in a place that was dead. And that was a weird feeling. It's weird being someplace that I felt was dead. About the mandate for USB-C, would that make it easier to repair devices or not? Nope, makes no difference, has nothing to do with right to repair. I do not give a fuck what you use as a port. I care that you make the circuitry and the parts available. There's nothing wrong with simple construction. Your issue is you wanted someone really advanced, level floors. Is level floor that advanced? What's your idea on when the chip shortage will end? It's affecting my job. Hardware restock is pushed back constantly. Thanks. 2024. 2024 to 2025. And thank you for the $5. I think it's going to be 3 to 4 years before everything gets caught up. I'm not basing that on any sort of expertise. I'm just basing it on the concept that, like inflation was supposed to be transitory and it was 2 weeks to stop the spread. So a chip shortage is probably going to be here until 2024. End of 2024, I think.
Robust.
Literally just tuned in. How's it going? It's going very well, and thank you for the $2. It was going better when my cat was here 2 minutes ago, but he's gone. I'm up to 1251 in the chat. It costs money like a tax just to visit New Zealand right now. No. You don't have to read all of them as soon as they pop up. Yes, I do, because I don't have a second monitor to list them on. Since I don't have a second monitor to list them all on, then I will lose them, and then they won't be there anymore. You looked at Boca Raton, lots of tourists, and it's quite a place despite its reputation. I have not. I looked at Fort Lauderdale. I looked at Miami. I looked at a trolling place in Miami called Wynwood. I looked at Brickell, which was really not impressive. The real estate was as expensive as here, except it was just less busy. I looked at downtown Miami, which is everything wrong with Manhattan on steroids. And I looked at Tampa. Tampa was honestly more interesting than the rest of me. I really did enjoy Tampa.
Robust.
How do you feel about land value tax as opposed to property tax? I feel opposed to it for the same reason. Thank you very much for the ass. I really appreciate your ass. I don't like the idea of it because I don't like the idea of being taxed once you stop making an income. I don't like the idea that there's a tax that's going to go up and up and up over time as my income goes down and down and down over time after retirement or after you lose your job or you lose your skill set or become disabled or whatever. It takes away the security, the sense of security you have once you own something. Is there a list of shops that do component level repair in Europe? All I can find is people that just switch components when looking for repair. I don't have a list of that. Try repairable.nl in the Netherlands. This guy's a fucking genius. Repairable.nl. He's a good dude. He actually came here for a class 6 or 7 years ago, but he honestly didn't even need it. He was smart enough already. There's Duke in the Netherlands, but he hates people, so you're probably never going to find him. There's ITC Extreme, but I can't find him because he goes out of his way to have a really difficult to locate website. If you could locate that guy, just put him in the chat. And thank you very much. I am wondering if you and Erica will go see Jackass when it comes to theater. I don't watch things in the theater. Thank you for the $5, but I don't go to the theater. I haven't gone to the theater since I was a kid, that I remember. I think I got dragged into seeing some shitty John Wick movie a few years ago. It sucked. It was so boring. I was like, what the fuck am I doing here? This is boring as hell. Yes. But you also... How is that? Yeah, but you also like Justin Bieber. I can't go by you. And you like NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. What else? Florida's hot in winter, but also hot in summer. Yes. Don't meet your friends, Louis Rossmann. Don't meet anybody, honestly. My girlfriend and I are considering Fort Lauderdale. It's a nice place to move to from Ohio and avoid big city drama in Miami. The problem with Fort Lauderdale is it's getting more and more and more and more and more and more expensive as more and more people are moving there. Also, it's dangerously close to Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Ugh. When I saw that, it's like, oh God. Oh God. Oh no, I liked it there. No, don't do this to me. New Zealand has a COVID-19 agenda of no cases ever. Yeah, that's what scares me about it, because I don't think that's doable. I don't think that's sustainable long term. So I'm scared of a place that wants that level of control over a microscopic virus. You can't get that level of control over a microscopic virus. I don't know how they plan to do that. If they do, then come back and, throw tomatoes at me later or whatever, or laugh at me for being wrong. Where's Clinton? False cat advertising. Clinton! Clinton, come here! Eric. Clinton! Erica, how do I get Clinton to jump on the chair? Erica, can you give him a greenie? Can you give me a greenie to put on the chair so he jumps up here? Can you give me a greenie? No help from Erica. Never help from Erica. Thank you for coming up here, Mr. Clinton.
Robust.
Butterfly, I took you to the John Wick movie. That sucked, Sonny. That movie was so boring. How do you enjoy that stuff?
What? What movie?
John Wick. It was boring as hell.
What movie do you like? Do you like Avengers?
I like 25th Hour. Dark Blue. Memento. The Broken. The Broken was a good one. That movie really fucks with you at the end. Anybody ever see The Broken? I'll type that in there. How did the cats react when you got home? They ran up to me, nuzzled me a little bit.
Robust.
K-pop is amazing and you should trust their choice of music more. Listen, I feel really bad because you just gave me $20 and I gotta tell you that you're wrong. Incorrect. K-pop is not amazing and I will not trust choice of music from someone who listens to Backstreet Boys and Korean Backstreet Boys. I don't care if it's...
Like Fly to the Sky, you know?
Ugh. Alice in Chains, man. Give me some Alice in Chains.
K-Will, he doesn't like any of that.
You're trying to play K-pop for someone that listens to Opeth and Alice in Chains. It's not gonna happen. No.
Who doesn't like K-Will?
Ah, Jesus Christ. Killing me. You're killing my soul here. You're killing my soul. Will you start to accept repairs for the Framework laptop? I emailed the CEO of Framework about an authorized repair program, and there's a lot that I gotta hash out with them. They seem like good people. I would love to get access to all the shit that I need, but I also have to get access to some broken ones. And there's only one person that's emailed me about a broken one so far. He actually said, this fuck, he said, oh, if you need any donor parts, you can use Lewis's. Fuck you! Fuck you! That's my Framework! It's not yours, mother... I could see Paul sneaking into my backpack to grab chips and shit from it. It's not happening. It's my laptop. Just like my kitty.
Robust.
I'm willing to die on this hill, says one good medic for $30. Thank you for your $30. But you will die on that hill. You will die on that hill if you're going to argue with me about K-pop being superior music. No. No. When I listen to K-pop, I just hear Backstreet Boys in Korean. I can't. Like, it's just, no. Not for me. It's for other people, and God bless you if you enjoy it. Just enjoy it outside. Just enjoy it outside. Everything you played for me today was Backstreet Boys. Everything you played in the car today was Korean, Backstreet Boys, and NSYNC. Coheed and Cambria. I don't hate them, but I prefer Le Dream Theater when James LeBrie is not singing to Coheed. I don't hate Coheed. I'm just not... I'm not fully with it. I don't hate him. I just don't love him. But it's one of the... I tend to prefer like Dream Theater when James LeBrie is not singing kind of guy. You seem really self-conscious when someone claims you're 5'4". How tall are you? I am 5'6". I don't know what you mean by self-conscious. You seem to be kind of a provocative troll. Yes, a useless troll. I also don't see who claimed I was 5'4". No one has ever actually claimed I'm 5'4". Google claims I'm 6 feet tall, which is bullshit. Like someone said, I Googled you and it said your net worth is 1.5 million, and I said, yeah, Google also thinks I'm 6 feet tall. What are you doing up late? You are not my dad, GTFO. Thank you for the $5. Truly appreciate it, but you're not my dad. Go away. No. And yes, kitty. I do indeed, kitty. Also, you are a troll. Get out of here. Low quality trolling. Chip shortage is water shortage. What? I don't know what that means. Being encrypted, self-leveling concrete will be the future of app. Clinton, how many times have you jumped here and jumped off? Sit down. Sit down. Sit. Clinton, sit. Sit.
Robust.
How long should I stick it out a well-paying job where I hate my boss without looking bad in the job search? Don't give a shit if you look bad in the job search, but just be honest when you're explaining it. Don't care. Start looking now. I would want to know why you stuck it out so long with somebody that you hate. You just got to be, here's the thing, just don't badmouth your boss. Don't badmouth. Like, find a way to explain how things are without badmouthing. So for like if they ask, why are you leaving? Say, I love my job, I love what I do, and I'm not able, I have failed at communicating to my company why I have failed to communicate to my company how I can increase their value. Or I don't know. Come up with some way to explain why you're leaving in a way that doesn't make you look like an asshole. You can call your boss an asshole without actually calling your boss an asshole. Because the thing is, everybody that I've ever hired that badmouthed their last boss wound up being a fucking horrible employee. That's been like 100% of the time. The only time that's been relevant, that has not been the case is when I hired someone by stealing them from their boss that I knew sucked because I worked for that particular boss. But every other time someone just randomly said, yeah, my old boss was horrible, this, that, and the other, I hire them and they're horrible at the job and they're completely incapable of getting anything done. I thought that BTS is more NSYNC than Backstreet Boys. Oh, God. Thank you for the ass, but yeah, I don't want to think about any more K-pop. No more K-pop.
Hey, you want to listen to BTS?
No.
What?
No, get out of here.
Really good song.
No. Good or bad idea? Updating my Unibody MacBook 2010 from High Sierra to Big Sur. Don't shoot me. My PD4 330 screen is broken and I'm broke. Oh, that's going to make it pretty slow. I wouldn't do it. I honestly wouldn't do it unless you absolutely need to. You're gonna make it slower and slower with each update. I still don't understand why property taxes against a calculated market value versus the lease from the tenants. So that they can make more money because real estate goes up every year under the current Ponzi scheme? Probably that. How come YouTube streams have such a chat delay compared to sites like Twitch? They don't. I have a reading delay. There are over 1,000 of you leaving comments, and there's one of me reading it. That's not a Twitch delay. That is a 1 to 1,000 communication delay. There's a site online that says you're 6'5" and 70 years old. Pretty good looking for 70. Good looking for 70. Shit looking for 50. Horrible looking for 32. But I put the iPhone battery thing. Did you get an answer? Check out iFixit's channel, and you'll get an answer.
Robust.
Do you want to come see the vacant retail space in my building in Broadway, NoHo, or NYU? Probably not, because it's going to be overpriced. If you have vacant space in NoHo near NYU, you want too much money for it. That's why it's vacant. And you're gonna ask me to pay too much for it, so I don't want to waste your time there, Yellaby. If docks and parts for your repairs were available by law, would you still pursue right to repair against John Deere and others unrelated to your business? For my repairs? Yes. Well, I'm just going to leave them behind? That would suck.
Robust.
That would kind of be an asshole thing to do. Thoughts about visiting Arizona? Maybe Scottsdale or Tempe? Maybe. I'd think about it. I was kind of prioritizing the states with no state income tax first, but I'll be happy to check out some other places. Then thank you very much for the $5. What was I saying? Yeah, I mean, if you have a space in NoHo, you want too much money for it. You want too much money. You probably want too much money, which is... Like, somebody messaged me the exact same thing about a space on Broadway around 7th or 10th Street or something, and they said, yeah, it's 1,500 square feet, you want like $12,000 or $15,000. And it's like, go away. And I said, no, we'll negotiate with you. It's like, just the fact that you started off with that was a fuck you. Thank you very much to Parth Patel for the $5. I highly appreciate it. Someone pointed out, whoa, Clinton's looking directly at the camera. Oh, never mind. He moved because he thinks that he's getting a greenie. Every time Erica moves and Erica's in the kitchen, he thinks he's getting a greenie.
Oh, wait.
But the thing is, just the fact that people give just the fact that the guy even put $15,000 out there for a space that was marginally larger than my old store, there's no negotiation to be done at that point. Like you want, I agree with you, Andy, and it is scientifically proven. And thank you very much for the $5. Come here, Oreo. Come here. Who's my Oreo? Come here, Oreo. I don't really know how to negotiate. I know how to say yes or no and walk away. So I just left and walked away. It's like, I'm not doing this whole thing where I go back and forth with you. Like, hey, it's 1,500, like 1,000 or 1,500 square feet. Okay, you want 15K. How about 4? You know, it's not something that I'm good at doing, and I hate doing that shit. And then like they go, oh my God, that's so horrible. It's like, I can't do it. I hate that type of negotiating. Future Funk is where it's at. I don't have any Future Funk, Ran Ray, but thank you for the $5. I will check it out. Clinton looked spooked and then fled. No, it wasn't spooked. He thought he was getting greeny. What do you think will change this Christmas in New York? Nothing. We need a national tea party against taxes. I honestly wouldn't mind paying taxes if I felt like I got something for it. I think what pisses me off about taxes is just not getting much for it. I grew up and I went through our public education system. So I know that entire system is shit. Shit. Like horrible shit. How much to have a K-pop executive exclusive playlist for the next road trip? There's not enough money in the world. You could literally pay my back rent debt of $83,000 and I would not do that. Because I'd be dead. I would drive my car into the side of I would drive my car into an oil tanker or something to make it end. Let there be a nice fire, combine the oil and the lithium and just blow up. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. You could give me $83,000 to pay my landlord right now so I have a clean slate and no back rent debt, and I would not do that. You could take Oreo away so I never have to deal with him again, and I wouldn't do it. Peanut Butter by RuPaul is... Oh, God. I'm going to stop thanking anybody who's talking about K-pop donations. And Erica? 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 Erica! Stop it!
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to start throwing things at you if I hear K-pop.
Triggered.
That MacBook...
K-pop. I don't know why he hates K-pop.
I don't hate it. I intensely dislike it. You shouldn't hate anything. Hate requires negative energy. I intensely dislike it. I'm going to break that MacBook, Erica. I know how weak that MacBook Air screen is. Thank you, Larry Sakiri. Holy $49.99. That is way too much. Wait a second. Is Oreo getting better ratings than Clinton? Because Clinton wasn't really getting anything. Oh, Oreo, look at you. You're earning some money, Oreo. Who is Debbie Wasserman Schultz? Oh, God. Let's not even get into that.
Oh.
Let's see. The Prime Minister of New Zealand still bringing her baby as a photo op to work. I don't follow New Zealand politics at all because I don't live there. Back in a former life, I could find a short circuit on a populated board not even using a visual under 10 seconds. Thumb up if you want to know how. You probably already know how. Yes, by putting your thumb down. Thank you very much for the 10 pounds, but yes, under 10 seconds. Yeah, you don't put your thumb up. You put your thumb down on the board and go, ow! Once you go, ow! Ow! Then you know where the short is. Or you just put your cat on it. No, I'm kidding. I would never do that, my little Oreo. Look at little Oreo. Look at little Oreo. Look at you, boy. Look at this kitty. Look at this kitty. Oh, my God. He's so fucking cute. You listen to music that's not even worth getting copyright claimed. Correct. It's not me. It was her. She was playing that stuff. Wait, Oreo and Clinton are occupying the same chair? This never happens. Oreo usually runs away because he's afraid of the superior and dominant cat. Mr. Clinton has kicked Oreo off of everything. Mr. Clinton has kicked Oreo off of his bed, off of his chair, off of his rug, off of his corner, off of his little climbing thing over there. He even kicked him out of his spot in the closet, and you have it on video that Mr. Clinton hissed and scared him away and took his spot. Mr. Clinton is dominant. Billy Hunter Brad says, hi, Oreo. Thank you very much for the $5. Erica, I can't. Erica, stop that. I'm behind by 11 minutes. What do you do? Oh, boy. Or Mr. Clinton is sniffing Oreo. Oh, no. It's not going to go well. It's going to be hissing.
You smell his masculinity.
You're literally the man in the box I'm holding in my hand. How's your tailbone? My tailbone has never had a problem. You were listening to Beyonce. No, I was listening to Scott Storch and tuning out Beyonce. I was listening to Scott Storch and tuning out Beyonce. I enjoy a lot of Scott Storch's work. You grow a beard? No. It itches and feels annoying. Why do donors try to control people? Same thing happens on Twitch. Same thing happens with lobbying and all different parts of life. Chip manufacturing is tied down to silicon manufacture in Taiwan, which had a drought. Ouch. There's a site. Yeah, if docks and parts for your repairs are available by law, would you still prefer right to repair against John Deere and others? Yep. I'm actually going to be supporting agricultural right to repair in a state that doesn't have this type of bill introduced yet, because I want to eventually get a normal electronics right to repair bill introduced, and it requires building a coalition. And I don't understand their business. I don't understand their problems as well as I understand my industries. So I'm always going to be from my industry first, because I know what I'm talking about. If somebody says, you're wrong about agricultural right to repair because X, Y, Z, I'm just going to stand there going, because I don't know how to use a tractor. I don't know what that, it's not my business. But I will support them in every way that I can as someone who is ignorant when it comes to matters of tractor repair. This sounds like Ikutaku. I would suggest seeing a psychiatrist. See a therapist.
Robust.
I can't help you with that. How are you still using funds from GoFundMe campaign for the right to repair movement? Oh, let's go over the states. Let's see. So let's go over some of the states. Where is my thingamajiggy? One moment here. Okay, BlackBerry, that's kind of... You can stop that now. So where are we starting here? Okay, so we are hiring a lobbyist in Illinois, Missouri, Georgia, Maryland once a conflict of interest has been cleared, and a lobbyist has already been retained in the state of Washington as a result of a donation to United States Public Interest Research Group, who is coordinating it in Washington. I cannot give details on what's gone on in Washington yet, because I don't want to give the opposition the opportunity to bounce on something. But lobbying is underway in one state. I've already wired money for a lobbyist to be underway in another state, and in the next week, once conflicts of interest are cleared up, I expect to have lobbyists in 3 other states. When the 990 comes out at the end of the year, this will all be made public. What I'd like to do before the 990 comes out is I'd like to just scroll through the transactions and say, this was spent for this purpose, this was spent for that purpose, I spent for this, I spent for that. Because 990s, they're confusing. It's a long-ass form. So what I'd like to do is, in addition to having a 990 come out, which is what's required for a nonprofit, is also to just scroll through it and say what the stuff is for. But I'm also working with someone on coming up with what I can and can't say publicly, because some things I just don't want to say publicly, because like I don't want to tell my opposition, hey, by the way, this person's about to vote against you, so that they can go over there and scare the fuck out of them and get them to vote for them, with them. So it's the difficult part here is going to be what I can and cannot discuss publicly, because typically I tend to be for 110% radical transparency, even when it means like the co-op board in my building hating my guts, even when it means like I'm making merchandise, making fun of the head of the co-op board of my fucking business building. But there are some things that I am going to have to keep close to the vest. But yeah, lobbyists are getting hired. I did not raise enough. Oh, thank you very much, Sneeze Doodles. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I did not raise enough to be able to do a ballot initiative. I failed there. I failed. But what I did succeed in is raising enough money to do a killer lobbying effort across the entire country in every state. And there's a 501c3 that can't be used for lobbying. A very limited number of your funds can be used for lobbying. However, the 501c3 funds can be used for education. So someone donated $1 million to the 501c3 last year, and I can't use that for lobbying, but I can use that to educate people who will then will decide for themselves whether they want to be proponents of right to repair. And that's going to be very interesting. I'm glad Clinton is back in New York City. Also, use $5 for a cookie. I will take that $5, and I'm not going to give Erica a cookie. But yeah, so far, I'm looking at Maryland, once a conflict of interest is resolved. Georgia, that's not like highest priority, but I want us to get something going. Illinois, I want to hit the ground running. Missouri, I want to hit the ground running. Washington, already hit the ground running. And again, it's just going to continue in every fucking state. Like, again, did I raise enough to do a ballot initiative? No. I failed. I sucked. But, there are many people that could raise much more money than I could there, but and I didn't. But what I raised is going to be enough to be able to do lobbying in a bunch of states, and it's going to be awesome. I may not win. I may not win. May not win. What about Colorado? Colorado was horrible last time. This year, Colorado just flicked right. Colorado completely ignored every single argument from every single right to repair friendly person who testified and just flicked it away and just hand waved it away. Colorado was horrible for right to repair this year. I don't even know if I would want to put money into lobbying in Colorado, to be honest with you. After seeing what happened this year, I got to be convinced that state is not a complete write-off. Also, apologies on chat. I'm reading stuff from 1:11 and it's 1:24, so I'm behind by 13 minutes. I put my manager on check by telling him I made you $1,500 in a 4-minute conversation and now you want to fire me. I don't understand that. That seems like it requires a lot that I won't be able to discuss in 200-character messages at a time. How is the KDA? And I liked it. I don't know about Paul S. though. I don't know acronyms. I'm bad at acronyms. My brain doesn't process acronyms at all. Okay. I know I had a T530, it was amazing, and I also had a unibody, it sucked. T530 is where they started changing the keyboard over to that weird design, though. Lewis Rossmann for Mayor 2024, no congestion pricing, right to repair for all. 2 ends, though, and thank you very much to Edward Rowney. I appreciate it. Open soldering training in Texas, please. That's a long way away. What square footage and price are you looking for? 3,000 to 6,000 bucks. 1,800 to 2,300 square feet. Actually, him going away and coming back builds anticipation. It's great marketing. I guess Clinton is doing good marketing. Oreo's falling asleep on me.
Robust.
Total non sequitur, what do you know, if anything, about console repair? My Switch regardless, if battery just randomly dies. I know nothing about console repair. The last time I worked on a game console was a PlayStation 1 in 1997 and 1998. So I'm pretty clueless. Thank you for the $5, but unfortunately I'm pretty clueless about it. Also, randomly dying is not something I do. Regardless of the device, randomly dying is only something if you figure out a signature flaw, and typically you'll have to see the device over and over again for years and years before you ever figure out what the signature flaw is. So it's not something that I figure out immediately. Even geniuses like Duke didn't figure out stuff like C9560 until they just dug their heels into the problem for 3 years, and then finally, it made sense of it. But it's not something that you figure out quickly. Randomly turning off is one of those things that 99% of the time, if it's not obvious physical or liquid damage, winds up just being a complete waste of time to fuck with. Challenge accepted. Someone started a GoFundMe. Oh God, someone wants to start a GoFundMe to get me $83,000 so that I will listen to K-pop in the car.
Ooh, I like that.
That's not no, don't do that. Don't make me feel bad about my financial mistakes in life. Oh my God, no. Oreo, help me. I don't want to listen to fucking K-pop.
Why not? How about J-pop?
No, stop. Eric, I will rip the speakers out of that MacBook. I have so many more things here I could throw at that MacBook.
Really?
I'm accurate, and I will throw a ThinkPad at that MacBook. I have a ThinkPad here.
Why you never throw a ThinkPad at it?
So that it doesn't play any K-pop. When did you get COVID, before or after vaccination? I got COVID in either September or October of last year. I don't remember. I think it was early October of last year. But that was way before vaccination. I got vaccinated April of this year. I got COVID in October of last year. I went to public school in American cities, still have PTSD. Yeah, that's the thing. I wouldn't mind paying taxes so much if I felt like I got something for it. Noam Chomsky put it pretty well, which is in other countries, they actually enjoy paying their taxes because that's the day that everybody gets to fund the programs that they all democratically chose were the programs that they wanted to fund. In America, paying taxes is a national day of mourning because you're giving away 40% of your money just to have it sent into an incinerator. Hey, do we spend it on education? No, you don't. I've been through your education system. It sucks balls. It's horrible. And it's going to be horrible no matter how much fucking money you shovel into it because it's based on a 150-year-old garbage premise. We spent it on the roads. No, you don't. No. I drive on these roads. No, you're not. You spent that money on those roads like 10 years ago. Where the fuck you been putting the money for the recently is beyond me. Like, I just, if I felt like I got something from my tax dollars, it would be different. I'm not saying I get nothing from my tax dollars. I get maybe like 5 to 15% worth, but not like 40 to 45. Nowhere near that. Thoughts on cheese? I approve. Did you link wiki page of your e-bike parts yet as mentioned in a previous stream? Nope, I didn't because I just got home about 30 minutes ago. Or 30 minutes to an hour ago or so. I did not. I have a bookmarks page here that I could link you to. Let's see. Is there a way that I can, in Chrome, can I copy every single bookmark that's in a folder and then paste it? Is there a way to do that easily? Because if so, I could do it now. If I have to Google it, then I'm going to wind up forgetting to do it and then going to bed and then not doing it. Is there a way that I can copy and paste every single bookmark in a folder in a chat? Because that would be really, really, that would make my life a lot easier. Because I have a bookmark folder here in Chrome. I have a bookmark folder here in Chrome of a lot of the stuff. But not all of it. Most of it, but not all of it. But, like, I don't... fuck. It's actually missing some things there. How are you using funds from GoFundMe campaign for Right to Repair movement? I think I answered that one. I apologize that you had to donate for that to be read. I am reading through this stuff. I'm just behind by about 10 or 15 minutes. Hear about the EU forcing Apple to switch to USB-C. Yep, don't care. It's not right to repair. Thank you for the $2, but I don't really. It's not something that affects me. I don't give a micro USB, mini USB, USB-C, Lightning. Like, I don't give a fuck what you use as a charge port. I care about getting access to the charging chip that goes on the motherboard, so I can actually fix your device. The brand or the type of charge port you use is irrelevant to me. It's irrelevant to my business. It's irrelevant to what I do. USB-C is a standard. FBTS, it's worse than Bumble Wrap. I kind of agree with you there, Edward Rowney, and thank you for the $5. So for USB-C is a standard, right? It's a standard. So that should make things easy to fix. If you have a new MacBook, these are the chips that get used. This chip, this CD3215, CD3217. And I can't buy this shit. So even though your new MacBook uses something that is standard, a USB-C port, I can't fix it because I can't get access to this fucking chip. So the type of charge port you use, I don't care. What I care about is that I can get access to what I need to do my job. So for instance, let's say you have an iPhone and it charges using proprietary shit, right? You have an iPhone that charges using proprietary shit. Even though it charges using proprietary stuff, I'm still able to get access to a chip that allows me to do my job, an NXP 610. This I get access to. I think it's an NXP 610. All right. Let's see where. Let's make sure I can find this. Oreo, what are you doing? Are you headbutting my hand? Yeah, so let's say that you have an iPhone and it uses a Lightning port, right? It uses this chip, an NXP 1610A3 or an NXP 610A3B, and this is a chip that I can buy. I have them, I stock them, I can fix it, even though it uses a proprietary charge port. Then you have a MacBook that uses a standard charge port, and that uses a CD3217 chip to interface with the charger. That uses a CD3217, which I can't buy anywhere because it's not for sale. So as a repair person, I don't give a fuck about what you use as a charge port. I care about whether I can get access to the chips, diagrams, schematics that I need to be able to fix it, regardless of what you use. Do you use micro USB? Do you use a cloaca? Do you use a multi-purpose orifice asshole? I don't care. I care that I can get access to what I need to do my job. Look at my Oreo. I got quoted 2015 to fix my M1 laptop that was working, just screen and mic having problems. Cheaper to buy a new one. Sadly.
Robust.
Dumb noob question. Why is there a charging chip in a battery? Why would a microchip be needed there? There's going to be a controller in the battery for balancing cells, I imagine. If you have 3 or 4 cells in a battery, that you're going to have a BMS that makes sure that they get charged and discharged properly. It's also going to do reporting to the computer of the health of the battery. So, for you to know what percentage battery you have left and all that kind of stuff. You're right about small bezels. I got a Galaxy S20 FE and it's so hard to touch stuff probably because of the small bezels. Yeah, I can't stand new smartphones. Most modern smartphones aggravate me. I don't want a dog. Cats are better. I much prefer cats. They're much better.
Robust.
MacBooks are going to go back to 30-pin charger. Oh, that would be weird. Honestly, I'd be better off with that probably. At least I could get access to what I need. Why are cats better than dogs? They don't lick you. They don't tackle tables and knock them over. They don't eat shit out of the litter box. They're cuter. They're smarter. The same argument you make for right to repair could be made the same for the right to audit votes. No, one is based on a real problem and the other is based on giant amounts of copium. I love your content. Been watching to when I lived in Canada. Live in Australia now. Hopefully we can get right to repair. Hopefully. What are your thoughts on the new P15, P17? Needs a Ryzen. What are you doing? What are you doing, Lenovo? Why are you still fucking around with Intel chips and laptops? They're not competitive. They're not competitive. Vaccination means nothing. Incorrect. Look at hospitalization rates throughout the United States.
It's the salty panther.
The real Brooklyn is Sheepshead Bay. You live in fake Hipsterville. What are you talking about? Neighborhoods are constantly in states of flux throughout New York City. The Sheepshead Bay that I lived in as a kid is not the Sheepshead Bay that exists right now, or that I went to as a kid when my grandma lived there. Like, there's always a state of flux, and everybody thinks their area is the real area. That's just being an elitist cunt. Like, my area is the real area. No, it's not. Fuck off. Any thoughts on starting a cult? No. You can export your bookmarks. Yeah, I have to Google how to do that. I just want to be able to right-click this folder and export all the links and put it into chat so I can satisfy that question. Have you seen iFix's teardown? No. Damn. Imagine being such a loser that you are actually watching this at 1:30 in the morning to bitch. GTFO. In your estimation, what's the best way an average person with no extra funds, online presence can influence right to repair? Get people around you to care about it personally. If you help somebody either make money by fixing things or save money by fixing their own things, they are going to care about right to repair in a way that they would never care about it if you just went by them wearing a sign or a t-shirt or a bumper sticker or any of that crap. The best thing you can do, and thank you for asking and thank you for the $5, is make it personally matter to somebody. Explain to it after you fix some of their stuff or after you teach them how to fix something. It's a hoax as he or she dies from lung failure. What? Okay, I think you're being facetious, and thank you for the $1.99 and for the laugh. Hello, Mr. Clinton.
Robust.
And when you have no access to doing your job with 10 question marks. Why do you always spam the question marks? Use less punctuation and use more for the beginning of your sentence. You don't start a sentence with the end punctuation. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. And now you're spamming it. Oh my God. Not only are you saying something that makes no sense, but you're copying and pasting it endlessly. Why, John Bear? Why? Give me a sentence. Control A, Control C, and Bookmark Manager. Okay. Let's see. How do I open Bookmark Manager in Chrome? Bookmarks. Bookmark Manager. Okay. I just can't Google anything right now. I'm on a treadmill and I can't fall off the treadmill. If I fall off the treadmill, I'm fucked. Okay. Let's see. Can I post these all into chat? This is an incomplete list. It's important to understand that this is an incomplete list. Text exceeds spam core. Oh, fuck you, bpaste. Let's see. Pastebin. Let's try Pastebin instead. Does Pastebin work or is it still slow as shit? Pastebin? There we go. Okay, so this is a preliminary. This is not everything. That's not even close to everything. It's just a bunch of little small accessories. There we go. But I gotta make a proper list because that's missing certain things. Why is Oreo there? What? Who are you and what have you done with Lewis? Oreo is there for a while. Why did Oreo leave, actually? Why is there a Clinton on me?
Why did he leave?
Clinton always takes Oreo's spot. Always. Always.
Robust.
If someone is saying robots in the background, no, that's robust. So there was a lobbyist named Charlie Brown for CTA, and it sounded like he was asking to have robust conversations with politicians, where the implication seemed to be that robust conversations meant handing you money in exchange for getting legislation passed. And I wound up making it in. I wound up making that into my donation noise because that guy did a lot to try to falsely portray me as an evil bully because I pointed out that he was making shit up. He was saying that Erica. He was saying that he scared Clinton away, Erica. He was claiming that independent technicians will install TikTok on people's phones. And I said that that was bullshit. And then he went to the legislators and said that I'm a bully. No, I'm not. I'm calling you out for making shit up. I make money by saving people money fixing their stage lighting equipment. We have stolen all work from our regional competitors. Well, good effing job, man. I'm proud of you. And thank you for the $4.99. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad to see that you're doing... One of the best ways to make money is by making stuff work again that other people would have just tossed away. It's a good, rewarding feeling. He's not the proper influencer. He's not going to last here. He's going to jump away in fear. As he just... Look at this. He's trying to jump away. No, Oreo. Come here. Come here. Come here, Oreo. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here, Oreo. Here. Come here, Oreo. Come here. Did the quality control of products have gone down during the pandemic? I don't think so. But that's a very insanely general question, so it's impossible for me to really give a proper answer to. How far behind am I? I'm up to 138. It's 143. Not bad. Okay, it's about time for me to get some sleep. Get out of here. It's about time to get out of here. I'll read the rest. I can't believe the oppression against precious Oreo. Come here, Oreo. What do you think about eviction rates and homelessness in New York City in the next 12 months? I think it's going to get worse and worse and worse. Oreo. Oreo. Is he going to run away? Does he want to be pet? Does he want head rubs? Your cats are hilarious and adorable. Thank you very much, Andy Britt. Any tips for moving to New York City? We just told a bunch of apartments in the Upper East Side. Find a cheaper neighborhood, Nikita. Cheaper neighborhood, cheaper neighborhood. Upper East Side is going to be very expensive. Same with Upper West Side, or honestly, same with the entirety of Manhattan. Find something in like Canarsie, Flatbush, Bed-Stuy, Jamaica, Queens. I don't know. Something that's not the Upper East Side. That's expensive as hell. Okay. I'm out of here. I will see you all later. Thank you very much. And as always, Oreo hopes you learned something. Oreo is actually stuck. Look at this. He doesn't know how to use his claws. This is adorable. No, I'm serious. Look, he's stuck. He's actually stuck. Look. His claw. He doesn't... It's going through a little loop in the fabric, and unlike Clinton, who just like takes his claw back out like this and then retracts it, Oreo is stuck. He couldn't get up. And now he's running because he's scared. He's a scaredy cat, Erica. He doesn't have the strength to be a proper influencer.
He is an influencer.
Robust.
He's not. He's scared. He doesn't have the power or the strength.
What?
This is not. He doesn't have the power to retain this seat. Clinton does. When he sits here, he gets scared and runs away because he knows he doesn't have the energy for it. The Massachusetts trip went very well. Very well. But I got to get out of here. I will see you all later. See you all later. Bye-bye.